Hey, how's it going? I got some new speakers for my 1967 Alamo cabinet. I bought a couple of these V-Type Celestions. They have pretty good rating, so my speakers are have holes in them and long story. But anyway, finally getting around to replacing them, and I'll make a little video and show you how I do it. Hey, I'd just like to give a shout out to Ian Rogels of Sweetwater. They always have good sales, but Ian's really great, and been working with him for a year, so cool. Here's one of my new Celestion V-Type 12-inch 8-ohm speakers. I'm going to do two 8-ohms and wire it for 16, so the cabinet will be a 16-ohm cabinet. Here's something that I've read about too, and that's that you want to make sure that you know which one's positive and which one's negative for your wiring. There is a way to test that with a 9-volt battery. You'll want to look that up and maybe double check things. So here you can see some Fender speakers that these were put in at a different time because of the original Jensen's the voice coils got blown out. But I'll show you a video of these in a little bit because these have tears in the cones and stuff. So it's okay to practice with these at like a low volume, but can't really record or do anything, you know, at high volumes with them. Here's one of the spots on the old Fender. You can see it's pretty munged up. I will probably have them reconed. Here are the Celestions mounted in the cabinet. I'm going to do some soldering. I'm going to solder some blades on the wires because I don't feel like soldering and having to make something to protect the cone and do all that. So I'm just going to solder them to some blades. Whatever you do, take time installing your speakers. This particular cabinet has these crazy pointed threaded screws, and man, I about had a heart attack trying to do this patiently without poking it through the speaker, because the speakers, they just barely fit. And that probably goes, you know, to show like things that happen over time. This cabinet was hand built probably in San Antonio, Texas in the late 60s. And now they're making speakers that should be universal. And they did fit, so no problem, but it was close. So be careful. I mentioned before, these are 8-ohm speakers. And I want to run the cabinet at 16 ohms. So these are two 8-ohm speakers wired in series. So you come in with your positive and you go to the positive side of the speaker. Then you go out from the negative to the positive of the other speaker, out of the negative, and follow it home. That is series wiring, two 8-ohm speakers that turns the cabinet into a 16-ohm. The speakers are installed, and I'm going to plug it in later on, make another video so you can hear it. This cabinet, like I said, is from a 1967 ALAMO Piggy-Back amp that the head got stolen from me at some point, and the grill cloth got trashed. So I used Mesa Boogie style grill cloth, re-grilled it. I got that grill cloth from Mojo Town, I think. Yeah, I like that grill cloth. It's cool. It looks pretty good. So here's a quick story for you. And around probably 1980 or so, I was taking lessons from a music store in Oscoda, Michigan. And we walked in, and I remember that teacher's name. It was Len Rybar, and he was playing his guitar through this kind of an amp. And my dad bought that amp from him for me. That amp, all I have left is that cabinet, that speaker cabinet. Over the years, somebody stole that from a warehouse where we had our stuff in. I looked for years to replace it. I finally found one in 2012 out of a place out of San Antonio, Texas, called Guitar Tex. And I bought it online, and I haven't seen any available since. There are similar ones, but not this one. And it sounds really good. Made in San Antonio, Texas, probably around 1967. It's a good amp. So that's the story about, kind of ties into wanting to keep that speaker that my dad got me, that speaker cabinet, and fixing the speakers.